Is Lamar Jackson a quarterback? Is Lamar Jackson a running back? I think by now, entering his 7th season, Lamar Jackson has already answered these questions. But to some of you, you are not fully convinced, and I know we're not here to convince you, but I am here to tell you right now that he is him. And if you don't believe me, in today's video, we are going to be going over Lamar Jackson's top 5 performances in his short NFL career. Now, to my knowledge, I have not seen a running back do some of the things that Lamar Jackson has done on the field passing the ball. And I have been watching the NFL for over 30 years. So go debate with your mama, because I'm here to tell you that there's something else.
I'm here to tell you there's something else.
And for those of you who are not familiar with Lamar Jackson's game, Lamar Jackson is number 2 in NFL history. There is only one person ranked ahead of Lamar Jackson when it comes to perfect passer ratings. Lamar is currently tied for 2nd with Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, and Kurt Warner for having 3 perfect passer ratings in their NFL career. The only person that is ahead of him right now is Ben Roethlisberger. And Lamar Jackson, like I said, is entering his 7th year, so he still has time to tie or surpass what Ben Roethlisberger has already done. So you cannot tell me this is something that a running back does. Running backs just don't go out there and have perfect passer ratings. Running backs don't go out there and throw for 4 and 5 touchdowns and no interceptions during games, but Lamar Jackson has. So let's jump into this top 5 and let's see if I can change a few minds while we're at it. Coming in at number 5, during week 12 of the 2019 season, the Baltimore Ravens had a Monday night game versus the Los Angeles Rams. Yes, the Los Angeles Rams that had all-world Hall of Fame, probably the greatest defensive player ever, Aaron Donald. They had Clay Matthews, and they had Jalen Ramsey and a host of others leading this defense. What did Lamar Jackson do during this Monday night performance? He hit him with a Jackson 5.
You got a Jackson 5!
If you don't know what a Jackson 5 is, it is Lamar Jackson throwing for 5 touchdowns. His stat line for that game was going 15 for 20, passing for 169 yards, throwing for 5 touchdowns, no interceptions, with a 139.4 passer rate. Now, a lot of people are going to say, but he didn't throw for a whole bunch of yards. He didn't need to. This game got out of hand quickly. Lamar Jackson went in there and was just throwing dots. The man missed only 5 passes throughout the whole game in a 45-6 dismantling of the Los Angeles Rams. And most people are going to say, but that's not really a dominating performance. Yes, it is. It is a dominating performance in the fact that when you don't need your quarterback to throw that many times a game, he only attempted 20 passes during that game. Like I said, things escalated quickly and Lamar Jackson did his thing. So they really didn't need for him to pass for a bunch of yards. He put 35 points up on the board by himself. And this is passing the ball. We're not even going into rushing stats when we're talking about these games. Strictly passing. So just to attempt 20 passes, only miss 5, and have 5 touchdowns, that to me is an outstanding feat. Now, coming in at number 4, we are going to go to the past season where the Baltimore Ravens took on the Detroit Lions in week 7. And some people are going to be like, but it is the Detroit Lions. What did you expect? Well, the pundits, the prognosticators, and publications had a lot to say about this game because a lot of people were saying that the Detroit Lions were the best team in the NFC, possibly the best team in the NFL. And what did Lamar Jackson do when he went up against this supposedly top-tier team? Once again, we had another dismantling with the Ravens defeating the Lions 38-6. Lamar going 21 for 27, only missing 6 passes in 27 tries for 357 yards, 0 touchdowns, and a 155.8 passer rating. He was less than 3 points away from having another perfect passer rate, but I guess he didn't have enough touchdowns. Maybe he didn't have enough completions. I'm thinking missing 6 passes out of 27 ain't half bad. And going up against a team that a lot of people thought were Super Bowl contenders at the time, even though they made it to the championship game, this was a trouncing by Lamar Jackson, showing his arm talent, showing his ability to scramble and make decisions and not just take off and run when a play broke down. Coming in at number 3, we are also going to go back to the previous season where we are going to go into week 17 versus the Miami Dolphins, the AFC East leading Miami Dolphins that a lot of people thought was going to make it to a Super Bowl. They had a very potent offense. They had a decent defense, even though some injuries would come about to kind of derail their team. A lot of people thought that they may have been the best team in the NFL. A lot of people did pick them to beat the Baltimore Ravens, especially from what happened the previous time that Baltimore played them. But what did we get? We got a 56-19 dismantling ceiling of this organization. Even with all the speed and weapons that the Miami Dolphins had, all they could muster was 19 points, and that was in the last-ditch effort. Lamar Jackson was truly dominant in this game, and I mean truly. He went 18 for 21 with 3 incompletions. And in 18 completed passes, he passed for 321 yards and 5 touchdowns. So in 18 completed passes, he went over 350 yards. Once again, don't see too many running backs doing this and having these type stats. Now, this was one of the games where Lamar Jackson had a perfect passer rating of 158.3. And this game happened a week after the Baltimore Ravens went and took out the supposed #1 team in the San Francisco 49ers, the team with the most talent, the team with an offense that couldn't be stopped. Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens went in and knocked them out. Then to come from that game to the Miami game and do what he did just shows you the type of talent that Lamar has and how he has progressed as a passer in the NFL. Now, coming in at number 2, we go back to week 5 of the 2021 season when the Baltimore Ravens took on the Indianapolis Colts in a primetime matchup. This game to me, I think maybe could have been number 1, and it was not even for the crazy stat line that Lamar Jackson put up. The narrative coming up to this point was, yes, the Baltimore Ravens and Lamar Jackson, they're a front-running team. Once they get a lead on you, they do not relinquish it, but Lamar Jackson cannot win games when coming from behind. This narrative had been spun time and time again, but during this game, the Baltimore Ravens were down 19 points, and a lot of people thought that this game was over until Lamar Jackson was like, you know what, ditch this playbook, I'm gonna go for what I know. And guess what? It wasn't running the ball, it was passing. His arm led the Ravens to a 31-25 victory while going 37 for 43, 6 incompletions, 442 yards. And if I'm not mistaken, Lamar Jackson became the first quarterback in NFL history to pass for over 400 yards on 80% completion percentage. The first. So Lamar is out here setting records not just with his legs, he's setting records with his arm. He threw for a career high 442 yards. Can your favorite quarterback say that he has done that? Now, to go along with the over 400 yards passing, he also threw for 4 touchdowns and had a 140.5 quarterback rating. So this game to me was just not strictly for his stats, it was for his ability to come back and win this game with his arm, which a lot of people said that Lamar Jackson couldn't do. Once again, proving his doubters wrong. And of course, coming in at number 1, coming in at this first slot, you know what game it is. It can only be one game, and it is the team, the organization that Lamar Jackson has tormented like no other. And that game comes in the first week of the 2019 NFL season. And this game to me really stuck out because this was the game after Lamar's rookie season where he took over and went 7-1. And a lot of people speculated, like, listen, they have to tailor make this offense to Lamar's skills. He's not really a passer, so they're going to have to run these gimmicky plays. He came out in week 1, his first season as an NFL starter, and dismantled the Miami Dolphins 59-10 off 20 passes. He went 17 of 20, only having 3 incompletions for 324 yards and 5 touchdowns. This was the first game that Lamar Jackson had a perfect passer rating in, and it would not be his last. And I think that Lamar Jackson took the NFL by surprise when he came out with this performance in week 1 en route to winning his first, the second unanimous MVP in NFL history. So you all can miss me with he's not a quarterback, he's not quarterback enough, he cannot win games with his arm. This is 5 examples of where Lamar Jackson went and took it upon himself as a passer to lead his team to resounding victories. These were not by narrow margins. These were games where he dominated throwing the ball. And let us not forget, Lamar Jackson has not had a dominant wide receiver in his league. Unlike your favorite quarterback whose team surround them with a bunch of weapons, Lamar Jackson has not had these luxuries throughout his career. And yet and still, he can put up better numbers than some of the best in the game. And then there was the Cincinnati game where he had his 3rd perfect passer rating, out here doing Lamar Jackson things with his arm. So please stop saying that Lamar Jackson is not a quarterback. So to answer the question from the beginning of this video, is Lamar a quarterback? Is Lamar a running back? I think it is a resounding, he is a quarterback. In 2024, this is going to be the season that he's going to finally prove to you guys none of this was a fluke, because if you look at these games have come over through the duration of his career. It wasn't 1 year, it wasn't a few games. Lamar has done this consistently. So I think we all know now, stop sleeping on my guy. All right, hope you liked the video. If there is anyone that you want me to do a a top 10, top 5 on, or just make a video about, just let me know down in the comment section, and I will be happy to oblige you. This is the slow time during the off season, and we're just looking for content to put out there. So if you have suggestions or things that you'd like to see, I got you. But if you just could for me in return, hit that like button, subscribe, share with your friends, turn on the notification bell so you are aware when I come out with new videos. Even though time is going pretty fast, we still have a ways to go for the NFL season, so just out here trying to entertain you, and hopefully I'm doing my job. So until next time, you already know.